Control panel hardware. Okay.
Sound.
So, doing a couple things here. We're going to be developing a loop so that you guys will be able to watch videos 24 hours a day. When I'm offline, I think that's probably the best way to do it to give some content. So, from this point on, I'm going to be recording. Um, I'm going to be not only live streaming but recording,
Start
and then I'm going
navigation.
to develop a 24-hour loop of content and then update it every 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
That way, you guys can always come in. I know that until I get a
None.
sub
Click OK.
set up, I for some reason I'm not at
Okay,
the
that should
tables.
take care of it. Whoops.
I'll go ahead and turn on
Until I get
the
a
sound again here and see if we're still getting it. So until I get a sub, you guys won't be able to follow along. Like you won't be able to see recordings. Nice to get a check down that reduces. That was really nice of them. Woo-hoo. Me, myself, and I. Okay. So it's the same table we were at before. It's almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the East Coast, and you have a ton of tables running for cash games. And I'm going to assume that these guys are fairly tight, but either way, you can still exploit tight players. So if you know how to play poker, so you could still make money. I think a lot of these guys are probably trying to get paid from the rake race from the beast, which is partially what I'm doing. I'm working on my online cash game, and also in addition to that, um, I'm also trying to trying to better able myself to articulating while I'm playing, because I have found that that is fairly difficult to do while you're playing, to do that effectively. So we've got 3 cash games up. Those are loaded up. We've got a 9 player, $11 Pot Limit Omaha 8 game coming up. We're going to go and raise here in table 3 with Jack 10 offsuit. Certainly ahead of the average hands that he could have at that point, and he lets it go. And we do have a HUD running. We're using Hold'em Manager. You're not able to see it. Uh, Table 3 here with nines. I'm going to go ahead and 3 bet. Um, I haven't really developed a standard 3 bet yet, so I went a little high. I didn't really think about the sizing there. That's something I think normally it's standards like 225 to 250. So this is a little bit higher. Um, Being here in position, um, it probably should be smaller. I guess it could be smaller and do the same thing. It could have the same effect. And it's always nice when you flop a boat. I'm just going to bet super small, and the pot's 550, so that's kind of what I was wanting to do. I didn't realize I got in for the minimum there. Wow, I just lost out on 15 bucks. value there because I didn't buy in for 25 by accident. Oh well, it happens. I mean, ultimately it was a pretty big cooler for him. Pretty big, easy decision with his tens. On table two, the queens with the weak kicker. We're going to go ahead and call. This guy is a 42-8, so he's not very aggressive. So I'm going to go ahead and lead the turn. And then I'm going to be bet folding this river. And we get donked into on the table, table three, on a paired board. $3 pot. I do recognize this name. When he doesn't double barrel, he could have flush draw, could have 9-10, he could have an 8, could have just made 5-6. All the draws missed should, I mean, he's not going to fold an 8, he's not going to fold a 4. I think we have showdown value with ace king there, and looks like we had a pretty good assessment of his range there. So we lost $7 in a pot earlier, and we pick up that one. We're going, actually the big blind is super loose, so we're going to min raise the button here. This spot on table three I think is a league for most players. Calling is a big league. Raising is okay. We're just going to let go table two. But it's either raise or fold. You don't want to call against a, well, out of position there. So I would for sure call in position, but out of position, just a bad idea. We're going to go ahead and blind steal almost 100% of the time here on the table three. We get shipped on with ace king, so 890 to win. Okay. He could have ace queen, he could have ace jack, he could have twos. He is ahead with twos. We need to hit, and we do. So just going to mark him as a short stack. Playing ship loose. We have ace birds here, and we're going to go ahead and raise. I think we're going to raise to 225. His under the gun range should be pretty strong here, to where he should at least be calling, making it a little bit smaller to maybe induce him if he'd like to go over the top, which would be great. But I guess he was a little bit lighter from under the gun than I suspected. So thus far the session's going pretty well. Really wish that the Omaha table would fill. It is only one player away, so if you want to get in here, jump on it. I'll be happy to get you in here. So that's what's happening. We're just trying to work on articulating what we're doing here in the hands. Table one, ace five off with an under the gun passive passive loose passive player. We'll go ahead and raise to isolate. Table three, we're going to be stealing. Okay, we do flop top pair. We're going to go ahead and bet $1.25. We get 3-bet on table three, so we'll go ahead and fold there. This 3-bet size is pretty large, $3. So I'm really going to need to find a good medium there for our three bets. I'm going to go ahead and bring in the fourth table. And this is a pot limit Omaha 8 table. So it's a high-low game. And it is a sit and go. 10 players or 9 players. Excuse me. Table 1, loose aggressive in the button, we're going to fold. First place will receive $45, so $35 in profit, $34 in profit. Third place is $18. Second place is $27. So this is a game that I find that most players are very, very bad. I don't see any regulars in this game. The AA Cult I recognize, but I'm not grossly familiar with them. We've had some action from Ballsy Head. WB has been, well, he's running a 38-29, but he's been folding to our raises. We're only four-handed at this table. Looks like a pretty decent sized pot brewing on table 1, where we would have made trip 6s on a very scary board. Ooh, it's me, myself, and I. Oh, Snugs, what's up, Snugs? Table 1, he's a 63-20 or 62-23. We're definitely going to defend with our ace 9. We're going to check. Start with a check call. And then just like last time, I think we're going to go ahead and bet the turn. And we get raised. We get min raised. I'm not really opposed to that. This gives him a chance to bluff the river. Pretty much a banana on the river. And if he bets anything around that amount, for sure I'm calling. He could have 4-7. He could have, he has ace 7. Very nice hand. He min raised from early position with ace 7 there. Fair enough. We pick up a little bit, or we drop a little bit. I apologize, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and steal here again. Table 3 is not working out. We're going to go ahead and just hop off that table. We're really getting no action. We do get called as soon as we say that. A king 10-7 board, obviously that hits his range. So we're going to go ahead and try to delay continuation bet. With any equity, he bets pretty close to the pot. The question is, do we get action if an ace hits or a 9 hits? And we're going to find out because a 9 does hit. The question is, do we raise or do we? I think we're raise folding here. It's pretty obvious that we have at least a queen. If he has ace queen, then he's going to go over the top, and then we could fold. But he folds. He was block betting the turn. He probably picked up Jack 10 or maybe King Jack, something of the sort. So we pick up $4 or so there. Table 2, Ace 6 in position. We can go ahead and call. This is a board that I'm going to float a huge percentage of the time and then bet the turn when he checks. Now, when he checks, I'm actually a bit concerned now that he could have a king. But if he has a king, or a 9 for that matter, he's going to bet the turn. So we're going to put out a small bet of 70 cents. And if he calls, he likely has it. We're either chopping with an ace or he has the king. Looks like another limp there. PLO table, we have the second nut low, backdoor flush draw. This is actually a little bit too much odds wise to give it any action. I'm going to go ahead and fold the ace 3 suited here out of position. And we've gotten rid of the third table there. So let's go find another one. Uh-oh. We pick up equity there. We're going to go ahead and bet $1.25 on a wet board. If he's a thinking player, he could check raises here with a lot of hands, but he is very passive. He's running a 41.5. So I'd rather consider him to be basically a straightforward player. So he's going to bet when he has it, or he's going to check raise at least. Me, myself, and I would have gotten. Ooh, they both had ace 4, so I would have gotten in that Omaha. I would have gotten like an eighth of the pot. Wow. What was the high? Aces and 7s? Yeah. Unless I had a 7. I did not have a 7. So I was very fortunate there to fold. And I accidentally bought in for $10 again here. I think I have the min buy-in requested. Sometimes I will, especially with the beast, I'll short stack and play a lot of tables. And yeah. Snugs, I'm going to cut out, man. I'm going to be back at 9 o'clock. My son's going a little crazy. I just wanted to check out this new layout and see how it worked. So we're going to go ahead and put it in here. Ace Birds, standard 3 X-rays here. Power hour sounds good. Nice, nice. Thanks for stopping in, man. Actually, no, I think we'll go ahead and keep it up. We've got a few more viewers here, so welcome, guys. Welcome. We are playing 25 no limit on 3 tables, and then we have a PLO 8 sit and go 9-handed here in the bottom right. We'll call this 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how I'll be going with it. Please stick around, and we'll make some money and make some things happen with you guys. Just throw out a tweet. We're going to stick around on live for about. Thanks, Chris. Okay, so change my chair around a little bit. I think what I'll do is I'll actually play some PLO. These games are really, really tight, so I'm going to play some PLO. So a lot of short stacks. So in just a short session of 111 hands, I made half a buy-in, 1258. But I don't think that it's a good idea to be playing this right now. Let me take a look at the Omaha tables. Let's see, there's a fixed limit. Is there a fixed limit table? No. Pot limit Omaha 8. Here's a 50, 100. $25 PLO. Here's a 25 PLO tournament or PLO table. We'll go ahead and run that. Here's another one. I prefer PLO for a couple of reasons. One, it's my best game. Two, the pots are bigger, therefore the rake and the rake race, you're able to make I guess get there with half as many tables. So if I were to run 4 tables, I basically get twice as many points. And the PLO game, I think the PLO game is probably, we don't want that. Probably the least understood game. And again, I accidentally buy in for the minimum, which I don't traditionally do, but we're going to get that rectified.
Big words. Boom. All right, we've got a it's linked to us. We have a queen high with the spades. So we have backdoor flush draw, top pair. Like a seven would be a good card for us, but we're not going. We're not sticking around unless it's free. We get the last table set up here, guys. Okay. All right, we've got all four up here now. Got a new setup here, guys. A new layout. Let me know how you like it. And working on a couple things. One, I'm working on articulating how I'm playing while I'm playing, which is a challenge. And for some reason I got timed out. Okay, cool story, bro. Cool story, bro. So keep in mind that table 1, 2, and 3, they are all pot limit Omaha high only. Table 4 is high low and it's a sit and go, so you see that there's chip values rather than monetary values. Okay, so as you can see, we're moving things around. It looks a little choppy. I apologize for that, but we will get it going. All right, table 3, 5, 5, 3, 2. Not a terrific hand, but we want to push our edges in position, and we raise up 3x. The short stack calls us. Paired board is a pretty good one to pot and then let it go. If they fold, if they call, we have to play a little bit more cautiously now. Pretty much beg for a 5. And when he bets the river there, that's okay because ultimately he only got the pre-flop and the flop bets from us. And the big bets he doesn't get paid on when he makes his hand. I don't always bluff that. We're going to fold here with King Jack 4-2. I don't always do that on a pair board, but when I'm in position, I do a good percentage of the time because in Omaha you're forced to play more straightforwardly than you are in other games because the board changes so dramatically from street to street. So if you have a set or trips, then you really want to bet because what if a terrible card comes that let's say it's a 6-6-3 board, for example, and I'm sorry, a 3-3-6 board, for example, and you don't bet, and then a 6 comes and somebody bets, then you're like, shit, what do I do now? Then you're lost. Then you don't know if he has a 3 or a 6, and then let's say you call, and then you boat up on the river, and he bets large, and you're pretty much clueless the entire situation the entire time. We'll go ahead and raise here with jacks 6-7 single suit. Obviously when the ace comes we are not going to continuation bet. We could catch a 4 or 5 to catch a straight draw, but now that the flush draw is there, we obviously have a straight draw, but with the flush there, a small flush beats us even if we make our straight, so there's no reason to continue there. Jack, Jack, Ace, 8. We have no suits here, and we could be out of position to a short stack, so we're going to go ahead and lay that one down. Not a lot of playable hands thus far, but it's Omaha. That'll change. Like in table 1. Table 1, that's a pretty good hand. Ace, Jack, 10, 9 with 3 hearts. We'd rather have just 2 hearts, but that's okay. Let's see. We don't have stats on the guys. If we pot it to 425, at least one or two players will call us. We're going to be out of position. We might as well just go ahead and call. We only flop one pair. There's a lot of turn cards that help us, but there is less. We have less outs because of the flush possibility. So depending on the bet size, we might call one and see how the turn goes. And that's a pretty terrible turn for our hand. We'll check it back. Now there's even less outs because there's more spades there. He bets out pot. So like I said, if you have trips, you should be putting pot there. We'll go ahead and complete here in the small blind. We do flop trips. I just said that you should be betting trips, but I'm going to go ahead and check because of my position and because this board. Okay, so now the club comes, he bets a quarter. Let's see if we can boat up here and make a little bit of money. We don't. I expect to check back a good percentage of the time. The suited ace jack here, but in the small blind is not worth it. And he had a king as well. We'll go ahead and 3-bet here. This is a terrible hand, but we're going to be in position the entire way. And we want to gain value while we're in position. We want to blow pots. We flop pretty well, but we want to see how he reacts to a check on the turn. So if he checks here, we're going to go ahead and put in $3. We're most likely way ahead, but we want to play a little tricky. Not a lot tricky, just a little bit. And we take that down. Playing just three-handed here. All right, we have Jack, Jack, Queen 10, single suit. Good enough to open up. We get the short stack to call. Looks like there's an all-in on table 1. The ace jack's the nuts. And 3 hearts, no jack. We're going to go ahead and sit out table 3 here. Go ahead and open up with ace jack suited here. Folding on table 2. Alright, we flop pretty close to air. We have backdoor runner runner, which we no longer have. So we'll be folding this one down, check folding it down. Okay, limp to us, we have a double suited rundown hand. And in the tournament, we have king single suited, which we'll go ahead and call, try to get into the pot cheaply. We flop a gutter ball. And we turn a straight on table 2. I'm going to go ahead and call here the pot size bet. We make our straight, so we have the nuts. Table 2, we have a weak shot there. And he's betting small. If we go all in, it's all the chips. And we have the nuts. So I think that we should go ahead and do that. We have a really good hand here on table 1. Well, maybe not that good. Top and bottom pair and a straight draw. And we boat up on the turn. And he bets again. We go ahead and just call. He could have 9s or 8s folds. Pretty unlikely to have 9s. I think I'll check call here. Well, I guess I should have led. He had aces. Strange. Flop quads on table 2. which is always nice. There's really nothing they can have that, like right now, like I guess if they have pocket twos, they would be betting. But looking for an ace or a king on the turn, and that's a good turn card. We're not going to be check raise. We're just going to be check calling, hoping someone has caught something. Table one, we've pretty much given up here with the kings. I guess we could min raise because he is so short. And then just go all in. He could have a straight flush. Straight flush beats us. But he doesn't. I apologize. Let me get the phone. Be right back. Don't you love it when you get to the phone and they hang up? That's the best. Alrighty. Table two, we pick up top pair. On the turn, we pick up a straight draw, as well as our top pair, good enough to call. And instead of picking up the straight, we pick up two pair. He bet on the turn when the four came, so he could be betting with a 6, 7. It's possible, but I think we'll go ahead and make a small value bet. And trying to get called by ace 4, queen 4. Looks like it worked out. We have the nut flush draw here. We're going to go ahead and try to build the pot. We don't have any backdoor draws, however, and we get raised. Question here is, if we call and the spade come, does he pay us off? So the pot would be $12 and we would both have $20 behind. With just the flush draw, this is either a shove or a fold, and I think it's a fold. So I think that's pretty clear. If we have a gut shot to go along with it, so a gut shot with, let's say, ace jack or ace 10, then we would have 3 additional outs, so we would have 12. At that point, it would be worth a shove over the top. He could have lowered spades, but I'm sure that he has better than a pair of threes. So 8-3, got top and bottom pair there. Out of position here, we're going to let that go. We're go ahead and fold that down. So in the sit and go, there are 3 players gone. We're in 4th place. The top 3 get paid. We pick up a pretty good hand here, but we're out of position. Table 2, we have a very good hand we'll be raising with this hand. I'm going to go ahead and raise here in the small blind. I'm going to raise the same on table 1. Okay, so this player is over 20 hands playing 75-0. I suspect he probably has a decent hand. Okay. Okay, we have a fairly good hand. We have the Ace of Hearts, which would be a great blocker for this. We pick up a good hand on the turn here. Okay, so we got a straight. So we knocked out both of them, which is always nice. We pick up a full house here on the turn. We're going to go ahead and check back. I think he's way ahead or way behind, and most likely way behind. He bets pretty chunky. I'm going to go ahead and raise to $10, and this is a raise fold. It's possible for him to have aces. Always nice when we flop the joint here. Go ahead and raise here as well. So we induced a bluff there. We're going to go ahead and get it in here with the nuts. We don't have any redraws, so we're just hoping that he has jacks. If he has pocket jacks, he's drawing dead. But if he has a queen with an ace or a king, he has a chance of beating us. He doesn't. He is drawing dead. And we'll take out the big stack. So ultimately, and we flop the nuts at the other table here, we're going to go ahead and make a standard looking bet against the loose player that we play with over here. We pick up a premium hand on this as well, ace, ace, jack 4, double suited. And it looks like this player would like to play for his stack, which we are fine with, obviously. He has ace, 9, 10, 2. He picks up 2 pair. We pick up, looks like we're going to lose it all. Very nice, sir. Very nice. Turned a decent hand into a very good hand. On the turn here, we pick up the nut flush on a paired board. And not a huge change. We're just going to bet really small. We're going to bet 50 cents trying to get a crying call. We just have a pair of aces here with no low in the tournament, so we were actually behind the whole way. No big deal. It's going to happen. I think we've gotten some good value because players are playing. We're playing a little tricky. Don't like to play too tricky, but I know that a lot of players have a tendency of bluffing in Omaha at certain times, and I think we've identified that twice in this session for about a $12 profit on those streets only. So that's what we're looking for. When we have the nuts to maximize. We have ace 9 3 4 here. Need runner for the low. We have a backdoor hearts. Pick up a pair of fours. You got two for the nut low. And then now we just have kings and fours. I suppose we could bet here. Let's bet 250 and represent a king, and we get it through. I think if Supreme Mike here had a king, he would have bet it on the turn or on the river. And if this guy has it, then there's nothing we can do. We'll go ahead and complete here with Jack 10, 9, 8, single suit. With the pair and straight draw, we'll go ahead and bet 150 chips. And now with more outs, with the low comes, we're going to bet 250, half pot. And now that all the draws have missed, we're going to bet 750. And he'll get a fold. So we just have to tell a consistent story. You know, that's really all you have to do in this game is tell a consistent story, and people believe you. They give you credit. I bluff quite a bit more than most players do. Go ahead and 4-exit here on the button. I think I'll go ahead and call here with a nice little rundown, single suited rundown. Flop 2 pair here. If he checks, we'll bet 150. We turn a straight draw, turn a big rat, but pretty close to a 3-card straight draw. It's worth a call. Got position here. Question is, if we hit, do we get paid? He's representing a set, so let's think about this. We have to call 5. We can win a 12 more if we win. I think it's worth a call. And we do hit the straight, but the flush comes. Now, he's representing a set. The question is, can we get value here? Well, I don't think he calls with a set, so I don't think he calls that with a set. So it's so obvious that we probably have the flush, but he's going to call with weaker flushes. So they weren't in hindsight, I don't know if that is, I don't know. I guess my premise there was, if we call, are we going to get the rest of his $12 if we hit? Now we did hit, but we hit a scary card, a scare card, to where we didn't. So we had 9 clean outs, and let's see, 12, right. On the tournament here, we're going to go ahead and put pressure on this player because he's the short stack. We'll go ahead and min raise here against the big stack. We'll open with the 8s, coordinated 8s. Open with the suited ace with a pair. Flop a gutter on the sucker side. We do have a 5 for a blocker. I think that 8-10 will call a lot. I think this turn we should be betting a huge percentage of the time if it's checked to us. Low comes here. We'll go ahead and check. We got the second nut. Well, the ace came, so we go ahead and call here with the flush. He had trip aces with a weak low. That makes sense. Fair assumption there. The three X's, we're going to be in position. We call. Bets pot. We have a weak low draw. We do have an ace and a backdoor flush draw. I think we'll go ahead and call one. We'll see how that lands us. We now have a low, but it is weak, and he's representing a big hand. We actually turn an up and down straight draw. We flop a straight here, and we're going to have to call down now. We had half the pot. He had a set of jacks. Okay, so we no longer have the best possible hand. But we're going to go ahead and bet $1.25. And again, players are going to be playing fairly straightforward. We do catch a flush, so we're going to go ahead and bet about half the pot. And if we get raised, we fold. So we got two streets of value there. Looks like another player is down. Heads up for the monies. First place is $45. Second place is $27. So we're basically playing for $18 in difference. Pretty weak flop for us. The turn we can represent if he checks, which he does. We're going to go ahead and bet 200. And this player plays similar to us. He ran a 36-25 in the 36 hands that were recorded. So this sit and go was only 36 hands so far until he gets heads up. A very good hand here in the big blind. Queen, queen, 2-4. It's been downgraded a little bit with some counterfeit action. So 4-5's the nuts. We really can't catch up with that. We don't have a flush draw, and one of our queens that we could hit is a club. So we'll go ahead and lay that down. Another good hand here on the small blind. We flop the second nut flush draw. We also have the overpair and a pair of eights on the board. Now we have eights and threes. I think we're going to go ahead and continue to bet here. 275. We have a flush draw. We're going to go ahead and bet half the pot. We take it down on table one. Jack 10 or Queen Jack 10-10. We're going to go ahead and fold here to the min raise. We're going to min raise ourselves with tens, ace 8. Ooh, excuse me. We flop top set, so we're going to go ahead and bet out $1.90. Charge a little bit extra. Seven comes, no flush draw, no straight draws, just pair of aces. We'll let that go. And we actually have a gutter for the nuts. Now we boat up. And he's so short, we're going to check that hand and give him a chance to bluff the river. We're going to bet $2.90. I don't expect him to, oh, I was wrong. I'm saying I don't expect him to call very often, but he does, which is always nice. Getting min raised again here, where stacks are about even now, which I'm not very happy with. Queen, queen, 5-5 we'll certainly go ahead and raise up with. We're going to bet 50 cents on this board. It's a scary board. Well, I guess he's not afraid. I don't think we're going to get that guy off of a hand, so we'll go ahead and check fold it down. We have no low here, so we do have the nut blocker. But if we had ace-5, we would have been betting the entire way. So it's not really worth a bet now, even though we have two of the blockers. Weak aces, I could fold this pre-flop, but I'm not going to. Alright, we pick up a flush draw, straight draw. We'll go ahead and play this one pretty aggressively. Excuse me. 200 on the flop. We turn trip eights. We're going to bet $2. We also have the nut ace blocker, or the nut flush blocker. Paired board here. We're going to go ahead and bet 500. And if he raises, we could fold, but it looks like he lays it down. So we've been running fairly well. He's min raising us here again, and we've been really having bad hands, poor hands. I think when we get a decent one, we're going to 3-bet him and probably end up getting it all in. Pick up a 4, backdoor flush draw, bet 400. We get 3-bet on table 1. We do have a hand that he won't expect if we do hit, and we do hit. And we're going to check. Problem with hitting here is that he could have the flush. He's definitely betting like he's got it. We're going to go ahead and check raise here with the tens. That's a bad turn card for us. Okay, we pick up a pair. Pretty sure he doesn't have a flush now that it's checked through. He could have a straight. Now we have 8s and 6s here. And he bets the pot. Would he have really done that? Would he really have checked the turn? I don't think that he would. But it's not worth it. I mean, a straight does beat us now, so. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and sit out of these tables to concentrate on the tournament. I'm going to go ahead and bet this turn. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and raise the turn. And he insta calls. And don't know why he would raise like that, but very well. I didn't realize there was a raised pot. Oops. We're going to 3-bet here again. Maybe we can Get a little action out of the guy. We don't flop very well. Got aces here. Pick up two pair. We're gonna bet half the pot. He's thinking, if I get the low, am I good? I don't know. I don't know. Table two, we have the nut blocker. Well, there is a straight flush possibility. But we'll go ahead and bet 275. 5597. Got a average size low. No reason to bet the turn. And pick up a pair of nines on the river. No low. Straight draw with queen, or straight got there with queen jack. Alright, so get raised here by the short stack. We got backdoor flush draw and straight draw on the flop. Ace comes on the turn. We're going to go ahead and 3-bet here. And I'm going to call. Pick up a pair here with a low draw. It's not terrific, but he just has the low draw, so we have two pair now. And he gets half, or we get 3/4 with the live ace. And now we have a chip lead. So in those PLO games, we picked up about $25. About $25. So that was pretty cool. Sorry, trying to get that all taken care of. We have the nut flush blocker. We're going to go ahead and bet out 200 there. We just have a pair of aces though. Queen 10, 5, 5. Fold this pre-flop. Let me grab a drink. Min raise here with the 8, 5, 4, 3. Single suit. He calls. Insta checks. There is no low now, so we're going to bet 500. We do have a straight draw, so we don't have zero equity. I'm going to bet pretty large here. He's got to have like 10s or better to call. And he doesn't. So we've got a 3-1 chip lead now. He limps in. We have a high only hand. We pick up a gut shot. Pick up a pair and a gut shot. There is a low already, so he could have already a low. We'll just fold it down. All right, guys, trying to make that first place money, $45. Go ahead and fold here. Calling here. Pretty good flop to donk lead, but he's been calling there. Betting 500. We do have a weak low draw, two pair, straight draw. Heads up, you could play a lot lighter hands, lighter range. We'll go ahead and raise here. Weak hand, but we have position. Looks like he's tightening up a bit. King Jack 4-2 with a single suit. We'll be defending here. In fact, I think we'll go ahead and 3-bet to 1,000. And this is good enough to go ahead and get it in. He has a very good hand. We're going to need help to chop, which we're not going to be able to do. Nice hand. He had ace, ace, 10, 6 double suited, which was a pretty big monster heads up. We did have a better low, but we had a counterfeit, so no big deal. Okay, no love here. We have no low draws, so we're pretty much in check fold mode. He bets the pot. We're going to increase our raise size to 500 now that we're a little lower. And we pick up a gutter ball. We're going to bet half pot. He should be folding a huge percentage of his range. Now the low comes, we'll go ahead and check. And we're definitely going to be representing this. Any ace 4 or 3-4, 2-4, or 5-4 is the nuts. So we'll go ahead and take that down. We will be 3-betting here with this hand. Three bet, getting it in. And actually, I think I'm going to just call. And now it's a pretty easy bet to induce. And he gets it in really bad shape. And we get halved. He ended up getting runner straight. Yeah. We had a much better low, and let's look at the exact hand here. So he had a 2-7 for a low. We had a 2-4 for low. So his low draw was in bad shape. He had ace 8, pair of aces with a 8 kicker. On the turn, he picks up a big draw, big straight draw, but on the flop, he got it in really bad. At a huge disadvantage. When he calls here, we're going to shut down. Guys, thanks for sticking around today. We're going to be cutting it off after this, and then tonight we're going to be playing for about 5 or 6 hours, playing the larger tournaments, anywhere from $10 to $50 buy-ins, playing the larger sit and goes as well. My kids will be home from school in any minute, so hoping that he starts to play more quickly and he runs down his time bank and then folds. Okay, maybe he was getting a drink or something. I don't know. Okay, flat top pair gutter ball, no low. We're going to bet 700. And he folds, so we pick up 500 chips there. Fair hand here. Don't really like having the pair of twos, but we can make a very big hand. We actually have 2 pair, backdoor flush draw, a live deuce. Unless a 3 or an 8 comes, I think we're beat. If he bets this turn, I think we have to fold, which we do. Nice hand, sir. A lot of people will get in trouble there with that hand. Eights, 9-3, double suited. We'll be betting 700 on this flop if he checks to us. And there are my daughters. So we are getting. We turn quads here. Flush draw comes. There's a straight draw and a low draw. So we're going to go ahead and bet pot, hoping that he has a combination of something of that. And then hopefully get a high card like a king, queen, jack, or another nut. Well, maybe not a nine. A five would be okay. Got a premium hand here. Sorry about that. Kid loves to be on camera, so. Okay, question. I see a question. Snugs. What's better, Elite Program or Rakeback? Honestly, I don't know. The Elite Program has not been around for a while. He bets pot here. We have a gutter, pretty good low draw. I don't think we can get it in here, can we? We have a seven for a straight. We don't have. We have ace high right now. I don't even think. I'll be honest. I don't think that they have the elite program anymore. They had it like 7 or 8 years ago, and I think that they did away with it. Pretty sure they did. We'll be donk leading here with a straight draw, backdoor flush draw, and top pair. Now we get the straight. It is not the nuts, but it's going to be good enough for us to go with. And now we have the second nuts, unless he has king queen. We take it down, and he has the same hand. Hello.
Dad, when is it going?
Alrighty, so comes out betting pot. I mean, I would assume that he has a good hand when he's betting pot, or maybe he has like 2-3 and he's trying to get me off of a pair. I have no idea. We go ahead and three bet here. He folds. We're gonna go ahead and bet pot here. Now that we're getting a little shallower with our king single suited, changing things up a little bit. Call the min raise. Flop two pair. A wet board. Now we have a straight draw, but we don't have a low draw. We don't have a low at all. And we do boat up, so we'll go ahead and bet pot. Hopefully taking it down. If he has a weak low, then he may fold. And we get a scoop from him, which is always nice. So we're back in the chip lead again. I'm going to go ahead and fold this hand. We'll be turning up the aggression on hands that are big and then folding the hands that are not. It's pretty much push or fold point for me. We flop fairly well. We have a pair of twos. We have a ace six for low. We have a backdoor flush draw. We pick up 1,800 chips from him there, I think. 1,800. Again, not a great hand, so we'll go ahead and lay it down. We could be limping here, but not really interested in that. If he min raises here, we'll go ahead and call with a very strong high only hand. And then we're going to check raise here and try to get it in if he wants to bet. Now we'll go ahead and bet 800. It's a high only hand. He could have us beat with queen 10, but we do have a blocker. And now we're going to go ahead and just bet half pot as a blocking bet. If he goes over the top, then we fold. He could call with king queen, king jack, queen jack, and he goes all in. So I'm assuming that he may not have ace 10 there, but he has probably a10. We have jacks single suited here with a 2-7 for low. We're going to 3x. I'm willing to get it in with this hand. We flop the flush draw with a live low, and we're going to go ahead and attempt to get our chips in the middle with pot size bet. We pick up the third nut flush and he shoves into us. He has 2-5, so he's going to get half and we're going to get half. He shoves there with a pair and 2-5, which is fairly strange. Another premium hand here. He raises. We're going to go ahead and 3-bet. He's calling in and out of position with really bad hands, so looks like he's trying to tighten that up now. We'll go ahead and 3x here. We don't have a low, but we have kings doubles suited. We're willing to go to war with this hand, and we flop the second nut flush, and we're going to go ahead and, if he bets the turn, we'll go ahead and ship it, and he does. We're actually going to min raise, slightly over a min raise, and he has a straight, so he gets half. Pretty much he was calling anything on the flop with his low, as he should have, so not a big deal. Proving to be a very worthy opponent. Playing some very strange hands, though, I will say. Jack 10-10-2. We'll raise here. We're going to go bet 1,200 here, representing an 8 or a straight flush draw. It looks like he actually has it, so we'll go ahead and let it go. We'll be 3-betting here with ace jack 7-3 Badugi. I guess we won't be. We'll be 3xing here with aces with the 10-6. And we'll be potting here. Now we'll go ahead and just bet the same as we did when we were bluffing. Gutter ball, overpair, low draw, redraw. Another good hand here will be 3-betting if he bets, which he does. Double suited, ace jack 7-3. Good luck to you, sir. Good luck to me more, though. He has ace jack 6-2. He's got hearts bigger than mine. We pick up. Okay, we get counterfeited. We have the same high, and he had a better low. So nice hand to use, sir. All right, we're going to need to double up twice to win. Got a double suited hand here. It's going to be good enough to go with. And he's shipping it in with. You're not going to fold now, are you? Ace 8-3-3. So we pick up a 9. And we could get it all if there's no low. We do. We get it all. The pair of 9s. All right. Looks like we're going to have to double it 3 times. I apologize. Pretty inferior hand here. But we get folded too, which is always nice. We get ace birds. Go ahead and 3x as we have been. Flop a pair of 7s. Pretty dry flop. We're going to go ahead and pot the flop. We don't have enough chips not to. Narrowing the gap slightly. King high, flush draw, set of 5s. I'm going to check raise this flop. He has been pretty passive on flops. Go ahead and pot it. Try to get him off of a low redraw. And he raises us. Okay, he either has 4-5, a weak 4, 4 queen, or queens. If he has queens, oh well, nice hand. He has queen 4, so he's drawing nearly dead, but he does get a low. So he puts it in pretty bad, which is fine. We'll go ahead and min raise here with a premium hand. We'd like to get him to come along. Suited ace, ace 7, 6, 4. If he raises, we're going to go to war with it. Okay, high only flop. We're going to go ahead and bet 800 on this flop if it's checked to us. Other than a backdoor flush draw, we don't have any equity. I guess we could make a straight with runner 4-5. And I don't want to jinx myself, but we are back in the chip lead. And he folds. Okay, we're going to go ahead and min raise here. The ace 8 suited, 6, 7. We flop pretty well. We have a straight draw, pair of 7s. Be playing this aggressively. We're going to do 1200 into 1600. So he's check folding a lot of flops. So maybe we should go back to the 3x. Just an idea. He limps in. We flop a set of kings. We'll check. Look for a. Okay, and he bets out. We'll just call. If he bets the turn, I think we have to fold. Well, not when he gives us half pot. And I guess we'll check it again, see if he wants to bet. And he does. I mean, could he be bluffing here? He could somehow have the queen, the naked queen, but I guess he knows that I don't have it. I don't know. Back to the 3x. We got 3, 5, 6, 7 double suited. One of my favorite hands. We'll go ahead and bet 1600 on this flop. We don't have a jack. We have a flush draw, but it's pretty weak. So if he does go over the top, we're going to be forced to fold. He shoves over the top, and we must fold. Just a bad turn of events the last couple hands. He wants to limp in. We're not going to limp in, sir. We have ace and a king. And it doesn't matter what the flop is, we're getting it in. We have a pair of sevens, backdoor flush draw, and he gives us 1200 chips with no contest. We're going to minimum raise here with the Jack 10 5-4 with a single suit. We pick up 400 chips. So this is a back and forth battle. I think I'll go ahead and check here. We have an overpair and a live draw. We're going to bet pot representing a 4, and we're going to take down his 400 chips. We're going to min raise here with a queen jack 6-5 of single suit. I'm going to go ahead and call. And we pick up a huge draw. Well, not a huge draw, up and down straight draw. We're getting it in. He has no pairs. Just a little. He's got something now. Picked up an ace on the turn. He got it in pretty poorly there with ace high. So I couldn't ask for anything more there. Played very, very well. Got unlucky several times with him all in. And it's just the way it is. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and rack it up for now. I'll see you guys at coming by. We're going to go ahead and shut her down.